So Dad, Granddad, what do you remember about Pearl Harbor?
Well, on that day, I was in my second year of college at the Pasadena Junior College. I lived in the town of Arcadia, and a friend of mine who was my pal in high school by the name of Tom Masterson was in Whittier College, and the two of us decided to get together on that Sunday and have a chance to talk to each other. So he picked me up and we headed for Monrovia, where there was a movie that we thought we'd go see. And he turned the radio on, and we heard the command that all military personnel immediately return to your base. All military personnel immediately, no exceptions. And he and I looked at each other and said, well, if we were in the military, we'd just pretend we didn't hear that message and we'd go ahead and go to the movie. So a few minutes later, we heard another message, and it said that there had been a bomb and a whole attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. So then we looked at each other and said, well, I guess if that were the situation and we were in the military, we would return to our base. As it was, we could just keep on going to the movie, and the movie was one about a man in the European War, and his group that he was with were surrounded by the enemy and were about to be completely slaughtered. And this one man, who was a very excellent sniper with a rifle, proceeded to leave his group and start going through from house to house and hiding place from hiding place and sniping at the enemy warriors. And he killed a tremendous number of enemy warriors and thereby saved his whole company from destruction. So I don't remember what the name of that movie was, but it was a whole story about his life and how he came to be and how he was such a fit man to do such a great, tremendous deed. And so Tom Masterson and I attended the movie, and when we went home, and were very happy that we did not have to report to our military base. But we were, of course, very much disturbed by the news about Pearl Harbor.
What was the important thing about Pearl Harbor?
The important thing was that it was the start of the war. One of the big questions we had was, how come the Japanese were able to get so close to us that they could just send airplanes off and do the destruction? There was one other thing, and that is another story of mine, that when I was a very young man, I thought Hawaii would be a wonderful place to live. And my parents, my dad was a veterinarian and could not open a hospital in Arcadia because of the laws, and therefore decided we should move to Hawaii. And I thought that was a tremendous idea, and fell in love with that idea, and imagined living on a wooded hillside, looking down on the beach, seeing the Hawaiian girls running around in bikinis on the beach, sitting next to them in class in school, and I thought that that would be just a wonderful way to spend my life. The thing is, if I had done that, my father and mother decided not to move to Hawaii, but if they had have gone through with this idea of setting up a veterinary hospital in Hawaii, then I would have been there probably at the time of the bombing on Pearl Harbor. So have this question of what if in my life. And sometimes I even dream about it at night. Is that enough?